What is going on, everybody? Danny back here for another video for you guys to check out, for you guys to digest, man. And guess what? We're here to check out some more Jim Cornette podcast clips, man. So today, man, we are going to be checking out this clip from Jim Cornette's podcast that came out yesterday. Jim Cornette on Jack Perry appearing for the first time since Wembley at a New Japan show. As you guys know, I can't remember the exact date. I think it was January 13th. It was the same night as TNA Hard to Kill. I was here live streaming, watching NXT or TNA Hard to Kill, and somebody in my live chat was like, "Bro, I just checked on Twitter. Jack Perry showed up at New Japan show, Battle in the Valley. He had a fucking scapegoat armband on, and he ripped up his AEW contract." I mean, I looked up the clip and checked it out. It's very interesting stuff. I'm wondering where we're gonna go with this Jack Perry character. And he has a fucking scruffy ass beard, man, looking like a fucking hobo in back of a fucking McDonald's or something like that. I don't know. But we're gonna be checking this out, man. Jim Cornette on Jack Perry appearing for the first time since Wembley at a New Japan show, man. So I'm really curious to hear what Jim Cornette and Brian Last has to say on Jack Perry, man. The Jungle Boy is back. As long as he's out of the Jungle Book, let's check this out, man. I'm curious.
Speaking of people that were banned off of television,
people that were banned off of television.
The television shows that should have been banned this week. As Mama Cornette used to say, like a bad penny, he turned up. The person who has not been seen since instigating the fiasco that, when history is written, will have led to the direct downfall of Tony Khan and his collection of action figures.
A collection of action figures.
Jungle Jack.
This guy really does not like AEW.
Turned up again, has shown his face out in public, such as it is, and basically it debuted in a surprise attack. So shocking, a guy in a mask and dressed in black comes over the rail. Never seen that before. Yeah, and apparently the security team that was working at the New Japan show had no knowledge that that was going to be a part of the show and that Jack Perry was going to show up. And at the beginning of the clip, you see the security like bum rush Jack Perry or whatever. They were legitimately going to throw him out because they had no idea he was going to show up. They had no idea he was going to be there. They were not told beforehand. If Jack Perry got beat up by the security team, bro, I'd blame that on New Japan's management, because you should let the security guards know what the fuck is happening, bro. For New Japan Pro Wrestling, Brian, you guys over at the
I love how he has
News
Jack Perry in a fucking
you're
box.
Shutting up and wrestling program. You're covering this fluid situation, aren't you? What do we know about the
situation?
Reemergence of Jungle Jack off?
Well, there was so much going on that night too.
Bro, who is this, man? This is a new guy. Where's Brian Last?
The reemergence of Jungle Jack off.
A Jungle Jack off.
There was so much going on that night too.
I feel the love, Jim.
There was Collision. There was Battle of the Belts. And then there's other things. And then there's this New Japan show,
TNA Hard to Kill,
in the United States, and
it was in California,
Jack
I
Perry
believe.
shows up, which I don't think was. I mean, I certainly did not see this coming. I don't know.
I mean, Jack Perry lives in California,
because
bro.
I was
so
down with the flu.
You know, if you put two and two together,
on the pulse as I normally do.
You were down with the sickness.
Yes,
down with
something
the sickness,
like
disturbed.
But I think that when the minute that he showed up and tore up the AEW contract in the ring with the giant.
Let me know in the comment section below, man. Do you guys think that was legit? Do you think it's going to be all story based and they're going to play it off on TV? Do you think they're going to keep Jack Perry out for AEW for a little bit longer or whatever, and figure out other weird, obscure things that he can do outside of the AEW system? My fucking camera, man. It's pissing me off. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, man. What do you guys think is the next move for Jack Perry? Because, I mean, he ripped up and it looked like a very legitimate AEW contract, but obviously contracts are binding. They're legal documents. If he were to rip up his contract, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan would sue him for everything that he's worth, because he's an investment to Tony Khan. The amount of money that these guys are getting paid every year, every month, or whatever, however many times they get paid per month or whatever, they are investments. They're getting paid that way they can in turn make money for the company. But if you're ripping up contracts and thinking you're still gonna get paid, and you're not gonna be an investment to the company, so all the money that you're getting paid is not gonna go back into the company because you're not on the show, I'm pretty sure Tony Khan will take legal matters into his own hands. But I mean, I don't know. Tony Khan did say that AEW is the safest pro wrestling company on the planet, when 3 months ago he was getting choked the fuck up by CM Punk. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. But I want to hear from you guys, man. Leave me a comment.
AEW logo on it. I just remember seeing everybody on right.
Megan, do you think that Megan and all the staff that would have been in charge when he signed his contract, do you think they had all their contracts drawn up with a 4-inch tall AEW logo on the top of the front page?
I think that's
standard in business, isn't it?
Yeah, that's standard for the industry, clearly. And other people were saying, well, if it was that easy to do, I mean, God, think about all the other people that would just tear the contract up and just that's it. Okay, I can go back.
Definitely
now,
story based.
I think part of me was thinking. I mean, clearly it's a work, obviously, because you've got New Japan working with All Elite Wrestling and all that stuff. But part of me was thinking, well, if it had been a real situation. It wouldn't have been that he got out of his contract because he physically tore up the paper in the ring. It could have been that maybe the company had released him for, whatever reason. I mean, God knows they had.
If he got released, bro, we would have heard from somewhere.
As a way of kind of like showing the world that he was done with the company.
Jack Perry, regardless of what people want to say,
right? He's a rebel.
Jack Perry, he may not look like much on the surface, but he has a pretty big name in AEW. So somebody would have found out if AEW would have released him.
Stringy hair and a famous dad, but nevertheless, that's the tearing up of the contract. Of course, is symbolic to the demented minds that are following this, and New Japan's half-empty American building, wherever it may have been or whatever. And then also, you didn't mention, he also had a black armband with white writing, scapegoat.
Right.
So he's clearly designed to play the victim in this melodrama.
The definition of scapegoat, man. A person who is blamed for the wrongdoings, mistakes, or faults of others. Definitely, who do you think was wrong in the whole Wembley situation? I don't know.
Drama. And and otherwise, he's grown his beard out. Is he trying to look like an adult now? The first time that fucking Jack Perry had to shave. Oh my God. He was so excited he could hardly contain himself because he was in fucking a senior year of high school. But he's grown his scraggly beard out, and he's wearing, I don't know, was he dressed like Fidel Castro? Is his new gimmick Homeless Jack? And because of his being suspended?
He kind of did look like Hobo Myers from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 from 2009. Not even gonna lie about that. So
since the 1st of September, he's been living in a cardboard box under an overpass. Is that?
I do want to know where they're going with this story-wise.
Communing with the apes. I've heard
maybe something happens at Forbidden Door. I don't know.
Commune with an ape. I think Jane Goodall communed for years, didn't she?
I mean,
but nevertheless, so what is his gimmick? He's a homeless bum that came over the fucking rail and beat the shit out of some guy in New Japan and tore up his contract. No, I don't think Tony has released him because
I don't either. That
Tony
shit would be everywhere, bro.
I'm sure this guy sabotaged their biggest show ever.
That's kind of raw, man. He did
led to Tony
grant William Regal's release.
Biggest star ever.
With like a year and a half left on his contract.
Stars in years ever. And so he sent him home, but he's still been paying him.
Right.
Nobody said anything about it.
I mean, I'll take his paycheck, bro.
Because then old Jungle Jackoff would have been suing because after some point in time you need to shit or get off the pot, but Tony never does that. Every time somebody
I will openly admit, bro, I would chill the fuck out of Tony Khan if I got a paycheck from him. Just saying.
So he has to confront it. So now after 4 full months, maybe Tony say, you know what, I'm still mad at you. Are you looking, because look at all this shit that he directly caused, that Jungle Jack directly caused to be said the domino effect of their business, all this embarrassment. So Tony's probably said, well, you go wrestle for New Japan. And he's still paying him. I'm sure.
Still paying him.
Somebody prove me wrong, and I'll admit it right here on the air in front of Jungle Jack and everybody. But until then, I'm sure Tony Khan is paying this fucking asshole that sabotaged his business, tried to on more than one occasion, finally did. And
it looks like
he's saying, well,
it sounds like Jim Cornette's a CM Punk fan.
You know, yeah, that way I don't have to deal with this. And, you know, that's... And again, he's going to act like he's the scapegoat to all these fucking smart marks with their heads stuck up their ass.
He had the armband, man.
That's my assessment of
scapegoat.
Jungle Jack Perry's debut for New Japan. So he can be over there with these similar-minded individuals doing mindless gymnastics and dumb shit, and let the guy that was fired from the goddamn Toledo Mud Hens because of him go on to fucking be the star hitter for the New York Yankees. I'm sorry, Brian Last, the Mets.
Brian Last.
It's Brian Solomon now. Listen, the people...
I sent that to Brian Last, who you know is going to listen to this.
Oh,
yes, where's
true.
Brian Last, man?
People are confused enough.
I wanted to hear his
opinions. You got to make sure you keep the name straight. But
yeah. You should. You know, did you speak to your mother about giving you somebody else's name?
And by the way, I grew up a Mets fan, too, so that's why I thought maybe you might have been. I mean, it could have worked both ways. My grandfather converted me into a Yankees fan.
Oh, my God. Fuck baseball, bro. Get back to the conversation at hand.
It is,
and that's something that Jungle Jack better remember. It's still goddamn baseball.
Yeah, and I think, you know, for a split second, when I saw him pop up and I saw people talking about it, for a split second, I didn't think he'd been released. Because like you said, I don't think anybody gets fired over there. But for a second, I thought
he'd been arrested.
Well, I thought maybe it's possible. I was thinking that maybe he had walked out voluntarily. Maybe he had said, you know what? Maybe he had felt the pressure of all of this that he had wrought, and he, you know, felt.
Bro, I don't think you can walk out on the contract, man. Like I said, it's a legal binding document.
And just took
TK would sue the fuck out of him.
I thought for a moment,
because
but then
pro wrestlers are investments for the company they work for.
Knowing that it was New Japan, that you know that the two companies work together. If it had been some completely random, although I mean I shouldn't say that because they have AEW.
There's going to be assholes on Twitter that say Jack Perry's going to show up at the Rumble now.
But you know, very quickly it became apparent.
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to see it
all the time on AEW television. It works both ways.
There you go.
But nevertheless, you know, and so the point is also, I guess now he's roughened up around the edges. He's got the beard, he's got the hair, he's got the
I have a beard too, man. I'm not a scapegoat, though.
Grubby attire, and that's going to show that he's tough.
He's a jungle man. That's what he is.
Well, and not only that, but because he's been made the scapegoat, sole scapegoat, because he's been made the scapegoat, I'm sure that has hardened him mentally and put him through all kinds of stress and agony, and you can tell, but he hasn't had a good night's sleep, Brian. Hadn't had a good night's sleep in probably weeks and weeks and weeks because of all the worry and the frustration over where his next check was coming from.
I mean, I don't sleep good at night either. I mean, bro, it's like 4:43 in the morning and I'm here recording videos, listening to Jim Cornette trash Jack Perry. So I mean, my sleeping schedule's all fucked up as well. So I mean, I guess you can add me to that category too.
Wait a minute. He knew it was going to come every week in his mailbox. But I guarantee you he hadn't been sleeping good, and you know, here's why. Because he doesn't listen to our program. That's obvious, or he would have learned something.
I do.
And he doesn't know to go to the people at Helix Mattress. Now, I know you're here. You're new on the program here, Solomon Grundy. But you certainly, because of your relationship with the Arcadian Vanguard Network family, you have a Helix mattress somewhere in and around your vicinity. Maybe out on the back porch.
Oh, plenty of them, yes. Yeah, well, they're all over the house.
You have a mattress in every room of the house.
Yeah, it's like Princess and the Pea. I just sum up.
Well, I'm certainly not going to ask about your particular preferences or picadillos, but there are at least 2 rooms in my house I don't have a mattress in. But, folks, if you'd like a mattress in every room of your house, you can't pick a better one.
Yeah, man. So what did we get out of this whole Jim Cornette roast session when it comes to Jungle Boy, Mr. Jack Perry? What do you call him? Jungle Jerk Off? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of curious to see what they do with Jack Perry as far as what the next move is going to be. Obviously, this year we're going to have Forbidden Door. I don't know. That's usually like in the beginning of the summer. So is that where we're going to culminate everything? Is that where, are we going to keep Jack Perry off of AEW television until closer to the bill for Forbidden Door? I'm not quite sure, man. We don't even know. There's a lot of speculation. We don't even know where Forbidden Door is going to be held this year. Is it going to be overseas? Is it going to be in the U.S.? Is it going to be in, Japan? Nobody knows. I don't know what they're going to do with Jack Perry, but apparently he ripped up an AEW contract. I personally don't think, obviously, knowing as much as I know about stuff like that. Like I said, contracts are legally binding documents. You can't just rip one up, man, because that's asking for a bunch of legal trouble that you don't want. So I do believe that it was all storyline based. I'm just kind of curious to see where we go with this. So you guys can let me know in the comments below. Where do you guys think AEW and Jack Perry are going to go? What the next move is going to be as far as Jack Perry, AEW, and New Japan? Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section, man. If you guys like videos like this, you already know what to do. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button with the notification bell turned on. Make sure you guys check out my social media accounts. Links are in the description. Make sure you guys give me a like on the video as well. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.